Think about the last time someone did something small that felt a little off. Maybe a joke that stung for half a second. Maybe a favor that felt slightly too big. Maybe a late reply, a strange comment, a tiny lie you let slide. You told yourself it was nothing. You smiled. You moved on. But somewhere inside, a quiet voice said, "Wait." That voice was right. That moment was not random. It was not a mood, it was not a mistake. It was a test. And without knowing it, you answered. Most toxic people do not start with something big. They start with something so small, you would feel silly even bringing it up. That is exactly why it works. That is where it begins. Most of us were taught to be polite, not protected. We were told to be kind, to share, to keep the peace, to never make a scene. So when someone bends a small rule, we shrink. We say it's fine when it isn't fine. We laugh when something hurt. We let one weird moment slide, because calling it out feels dramatic. The problem is, those tiny moments are not nothing. They are the doorway. Every big problem in a toxic relationship started as a small one nobody talked about. By the time the damage is loud, the door has been open for months. This is why the small stuff matters more than the loud stuff. The small stuff is where you are still safe. The small stuff is where you still have a choice. A boundary is just a personal rule about how you let people treat you. It can be quiet, like not wanting your phone touched, or big, like not being yelled at. A boundary test is a small action made to see how you will react when that rule is gently bent. Here is the part most people miss. The test is not really about the rule. The test is about you. Picture this. A new friend joins your lunch table. They make a joke about something a little personal. Then watch your face for a full second too long. They are not waiting for the joke to land. They are waiting to see what you do. Do you laugh to be nice? Do you go quiet? Do you change the subject? Whatever you choose, they remember. That look across the table is not curiosity. It is a question with no words. And you just answered it. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Imagine you are dating someone new. The first time, they show up 15 minutes late. You say it's okay. The next week, they are 30 minutes late and don't text. You feel a small knot in your stomach, but you smile when they walk in. They notice that smile. The week after, they are an hour late, and when they finally show up, they are extra sweet. Almost too sweet. They bring a small gift. They make you laugh. The knot in your stomach quietly disappears. That sweetness was not love. That sweetness was a reward for not making a scene. Now picture a coworker. They ask if you can send one small file because their day is rough. You say yes. A week later, they ask for a small task. Just this once. You say yes. A month later, half their work is sitting on your desk, and somehow it feels rude to say no. You did not agree to any of this out loud, but step by step, you trained them that you would. They watched how fast you bent. They watched how fast you forgave. They watched how easily you swallowed your own discomfort to keep things smooth. None of these moments were random. Each one was a tiny climb up a slow ladder. And kindness, the real, soft, open kind, gave them the rope to climb. Here is the part that may give you a small chill. Some toxic people are not really testing your rules at all. They are collecting information about you. This pattern can look like 3 quiet questions, asked again and again in different shapes. How guilty do you feel when something goes wrong, even when it isn't your fault? How afraid are you of conflict, of awkward silence, of people being upset with you? How badly do you need to be liked, to be seen as the easy one, the kind one, the cool one? Every test gives them a number for one of those 3. A parent says, "After all I did for you," and watches how fast you say sorry. A friend gives you the silent treatment and watches how fast you reach out. A partner sends a confusing text and watches how fast you chase. They are not picking fights. They are taking notes. And once those 3 numbers are clear, they know which buttons to press to move you, almost without you ever noticing. This is the part the whole video has been walking toward. Once a toxic person has the map of you, the testing stops. The using begins. The favors get bigger. The jokes get sharper. The silences last longer. The guilt lines get heavier. They stop checking what you will allow, because they already know. And then, one day, something inside you finally pushes back. Maybe it is a calm, simple no. Maybe it is one honest sentence. Maybe it is just a long pause before you say yes. In that moment, watch what happens. They act shocked. They act hurt. They act angry. Because the version of you they trained, The quiet, smiling, easy version is suddenly missing. They are not upset that you have a limit. They are upset that the map does not work anymore. You were studied before you were ever used. That is the part nobody tells you, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it again. Now take a slow breath, because the goal here is not to make you scared of people. The goal is to make you harder to study. The first lesson is small but powerful. A calm, early no is kinder than a loud, late no. You do not have to wait until you are exhausted to speak up. You can speak up while the moment is still small. Second, you do not owe a long story for every limit you set. I'd rather not is a full sentence. That doesn't work for me is a full sentence. Third, not every rude person is toxic. Some people are tired, hurt, or careless. The thing to watch is the pattern, not one bad day. One slip is human. The same slip, again and again, with no real change, is a pattern. Fourth, a steady tone protects you better than an angry one. You do not have to be loud. You just have to be clear. And last, healing from this is not about becoming cold or closed off. It is about staying warm in safer rooms, with people who adjust when you say a quiet no, instead of pushing again in a new shape. So the next time something small feels a little off, do not rush past it. Do not call yourself dramatic. Do not smooth it over before you even feel it. That small moment is a message. Some people, when you set a limit, will simply nod and meet you there. Other people will test that limit again, in a softer voice, in a sweeter way, in a smaller shape. You are allowed to notice the difference. You are allowed to step back without making a scene. You are allowed to be kind and protected at the very same time. The first weird moment is never the last one. It is only the first answer they get. Make sure the answer they get from you, calm, steady, clear, is one they can never use.